Hey everyone, Phil from 3DP UK Tech Channel. So today's review is on the Genmitsu Kiosk Portable 10 watt laser. There's two variants, there's the 5 watt and the 10 watt, and this one is the 10 watt. Genmitsu contacted me and asked me to carry out the review of this and to give some feedback and to share with my subscribers. So I really want to thank them for today's video. Everything that I say in this video is my own opinion. It was just sent to me free of charge to carry out this review. Now, some of the specs I'm going to show up into the screen now. With that, you can decide on whether this is the ideal laser engraver for you. Now, these portable lasers are specifically for smaller projects, and they're also ideal for taken to fetes and craft fairs and stuff like that. So if you want to do any quick prints and cuts. So I've done a range of different projects, which I'll show later on in the video, of quick videos of each of those and the power settings and the actual speed settings that I used. And I use Lightburn. I tend not to use the apps that come with these. I find them very limited, and I don't really go to craft fairs, and I wouldn't probably do laser engraving at craft fairs. I just think it's quite a skilled thing. But if that's what you're looking for, this is a good laser. And for the price point, really, really approachable for lots of different people as well. So I really like that. So once again, up in the corner now, I'm going to show a quick unboxing of this. Really easy to set up. It literally is get the machine out of the box, connect up the laser itself, one cable, and away you go. It's as simple as that. Connect up the power connections. Also, the SD card is found actually in the machine already. They do give you the SD card reader. Connect it up to your laptop or your PC and take off all the information from that. There's loads of little craft options to do, which I'd selected a few of those. And also it comes with the actual software to carry out the connection for this to Lightburn. So if you've got Lightburn, it's already set up. So yeah, for me, I reviewed another portable laser. You'll find that in my video logs. And this one for me has really stood out. The lid as well, it's not a lift out lid. So the other laser I did, you had to pull it out. It was a lot more fiddly. And I found after a while it was starting to distort. The fact that this is a lift up lid really sells it for me. It also has like a little proximity switch in there. So when you lift up the lid, you can just hear that clicking. That basically shuts the machine off. So when this is connected to power, this blue LED light will be flashing. If the lid's up, it'll be in solid state if it's down. That just is a safety feature. Obviously, if you've got it raised, so right now this is in the raised position, it actually lowers right down and is flush with the bed. It's got a play button, so if you connect up an SD card and you've already got some projects on there, but I'm not so sure about whether that would work ideally. Like I said, in the box came with lots of different things, so everything's ready to go. A few little spare sort of crafting equipment, so such as bits of wood and paper and stuff like that, but I always have plenty of those to carry out tasks. So like I say, thank you to Genmitsu for sending me this over to review. You would have seen the unboxing quickly, nice and simple. Let's go over to the videos now of me using this engraver. And then what we'll do is we'll do a final catch up at the end of the video on what my thoughts are, the pros and the cons of this portable laser by Genmitsu, the Kiosk 10 watt. And then before we do that, I want to just take this moment to thank everyone who subscribed to my channel. And if you're new to watching this channel, don't forget to subscribe and don't forget to tick that like button. And if you've got any comments on the video, if there's any information you'd like before you go out and purchase this, I'll also leave a link in the description for where you can collect this. And before we do that, a quick word from today's video sponsor, PCBWay.com. PCBWay, today's video sponsor.
why don't you check out their 7th project design contest? If you click on the link, it gives you details about how to participate, what sort of prizes, and lots of information about timelines, etc. Also, if you head over to their main page, you can select PCB board prototyping, PC board assembly, FPC rigid flex, advanced PCBs, and they even do CNC and 3D printing and SMD stencils. If you click on that, it gives you an instant quote and you put in your specific requirements. And that is today's video sponsor, PCBWay.com. PCBWay. So when you're working on this Genmitsu and you want to focus the laser, you've got like this little drop down key here, and basically there's a little handle just there. You could probably just about see it. Twist that, it raises or lowers that, and you just want to make sure that this rests on the item that you're lasering, which I've already done. So that's how you focus that. So I have a little wooden 2mm plywood, and I'm just going to laser the logo for the Genmitsu kiosk. And as you can see, this flashing light, basically when you lift up the lid, that means that it's been isolated, and then when you close it, a little proximity switch in there is activated, and then that goes into a solid state blue. That means that you can actually do the lasering. And then what I'm going to do now is just frame it. So this is the framing. As you can see, it just puts like a 1% laser focus just so that you can see. And then we're going to click start. So let's just press yes, and now it's lasering. Now I am running this through Lightburn. You can also use the app, and you can use an SD card, which is at the back of the machine, along with some of the connections, which I'll go into a bit later in the video. But as you can see, this is now lasering the logo. So I'm going to let that do that and come back and see what it looks like in a minute. So as you can see, that has been completed now. I was running that at the following speed, so 6,000 and 80% burn. Probably a little bit too fast on that, but I had to start the cut again because it kind of misaligned. I wanted it a little bit more central, and it's done quite a nice engrave on that. I mean, you can always sand that down just to tidy it up a little bit. As you can see, it has done that. Now these type of portable lasers, the working area, I would say, would forget the fact that the bed is this big. I would say that this is kind of your working area, sort of around the middle here. So this is only really for small like projects such as key rings, little 10 centimeter coasters and things like that. A little quick project. So when you're wanting to do larger projects, you want to be sort of doing lasers like this. So with the 400mm bed, so these are for your bigger projects. And then you've got the smaller ones, which with these little portable lasers, such as this Genmitsu kiosk 10 watt. There is a 5 watt as well, but this is the 10 watt. You can take these to craft fairs. So if you had a little power bank or a generator, or for something like that, this would be perfect, because it literally could just fit in the back of your car, on the back seat, in a little box, whatever. Like I said earlier in the video, when you see the unboxing and all the contents over here, everything is ready to go. Connect it up to Lightburn, nice and easy. Use the files that are on the SD card at the back of the machine. So we're going to run some more tests now on some Slate and things like that, and then we will wrap this up with a quick end of video feedback on this 10 watt Genmitsu kiosk laser. So now we are going to do some, it's not a Slate coaster, it's actually a sign with the holes in. I've already done the level, which, like I said earlier, just flick this little guide down. It basically is a little handle in here, and you just twist that and make sure that it's level. But with this Slate coaster, it's not quite level. I wanted to just take it down a little bit so I get a deeper engrave, which is why it's slightly off. But this is actually to fit into my studio front door, and I am going to put my logo and then fit it to the front door. So we're going to do that, and we are running at speed. So I wanted to slow it right down, so I'm doing a cut speed of 4,200 and 80% power. I just wanted to see how that would do. I want a nice deep engrave, so once again need to shut down this like so. Solid state light. Let's click start, and we are away. As you can see, it's doing a job already. We'll come back and have a look at that in a minute. So coming back, and it looks like it has done a really good job. Like I said, that was at about 4,000 speed, about 80% power, and it's come out really nice. Obviously the working area isn't that great in terms of like bigger projects like this, but actually there is probably no reason why you can't move it over and put some extra stuff on it. But for me, this is all I really wanted on there. As you can see, come out really well. Yeah, I'm really happy with that. As you can see, it looks good. So that was the 2mm plywood and some slate. Like I say, this is a very small machine, so the working area isn't going to be as great as a larger, but the point of this is for it to be portable to take out on craft shows and stuff like that. So we'll do some more, do some key rings and maybe some cutting out and see what sort of power I can get out of that, what sort of wood depth I can do, and we'll carry on with the review. So here we are going to, we're going to laser engrave this leather tag, and we're going to see how this Genmitsu kiosk 10 watt does with that. Some of the other lasers that I've tried this on doesn't really work so well because of the fact that it's shaped like that, so it's kind of misaligned, but we'll give it a go and see how this fares. So this is just the Genmitsu logo. This was found on the SD card. I just loaded it up onto the laptop. I'm currently running at the speed of 8,250 with a power of 65%. You can see there's a bit of scorching. Once again, because of the shape of this particular type of tag, you do get like an uneven burn. What you potentially could do is put a piece of tape over that just to stop any scorching, or even just turn down the actual power. But for demonstration purposes, I just thought I'd do this on a tag. Kind of looks cool in my eyes, and this is kind of what this machine would be used for. Now, kind of gives off some funny fumes, so extraction is definitely key on that. And on the back of it, which I'll show in the video, there is something of an attachment, and I believe Genmitsu also have a air purifier, so could potentially use that. So let's take a look and see how that fared. Now that took roughly a minute and a half, so nice and quick, especially if you're doing any shows. And apart from the fact that I misaligned that, you'd probably do good to do some jigs for that. Bit of mess on the sides, but I think that came out really well. It's got a nice deep engrave on that. So if you wanted to personalize these, if you wanted to put people's names on, logos, company names, obviously making sure that you actually level it out, and like I said, jig would be the best for that, especially if you're doing more than one. If you wanted a row of them, you could laser cut a jig out of some wood. So I see a lot of those things. So let's go on to the next project. So that was a leather tag, and that worked pretty well. Okay, another project, wooden keyring this time. Going to use the Genmitsu logo again, because obviously this is what this laser is. Let's keep the branding going, and at the end I'll showcase the machine, what I thought of it, and all of these different types of materials that we are using. So Let's shut the screen up. As you can see, it's flashing. As soon as that switch is clicked, I can then press engrave. So let's go over to Lightburn and click laser, and we are away. And then I will show you what it looks like at the end. Okay, so that's completed. Another 1.5 minute laser burn again. So once again, great for craft shows. Once again, not quite level, but jigs and a bit of experience. I'm more into my larger lasers, so these portables are a bit more of a task to layer out, but once again, nice deep cut. There's about 65% power, 70,000 speeds, or 7,000 speeds, sorry, and it looks pretty good. Really liking this. Okay, so going for another key ring, slightly different type of wood, a bit lighter, a bit thicker as well. Once again, got a bit of an awkward look to it, but what we do is lift up the lid, place it underneath, nice and as flat as possible. Flick this down, and then you want to make sure that that hits the top of this. So we'll do that off camera, and as you can see, just using that little twisty handle and then using this, that is your focus. So we're going to put it to about here, and then on Lightburn I'm going to basically put it in position. If you, on Lightburn, anyone who uses Lightburn will know that you can power up the laser when it's doing the framing, but you only really want a 1% or 0.5%, just so that you can see the light. Otherwise you're actually going to burn a line into your project, and you don't want to do that. So we're going to do the Genmitsu sign again, and maybe some of the other tasks I'm doing a bit is probably some images, just so that we get a broad range of what it's capable of doing. Okay, so that is complete again. Just over 2 minutes on that again, and I think that's come out pretty good. Really like the depth of that, and at 60% power and 6,000 speed, you'll be able to do these at craft shows. I think that's really what this is going to be all about: craft shows and events and stuff like that. And obviously the less power you're using, the longer that's going to last if you're using a power bank or generator of some sort. But yeah, I really like that. Awesome little personalized key rings, nice thick wood. So we'll keep testing. So you're going to go for a little wood coaster instead. Going to print a tiger's face onto that and just see how that comes out. Going to run about 80% power. We're going to go for just under 6,000 speed just to see how that looks. So that is completed. About 4 or 5 minutes on that one, and it's just a simple lion or tiger, sorry, and it's come out pretty well. I would have liked to have used up the whole of the coaster itself, but I think just for visual purposes that has come out really clear. Yeah, I really like that. That's pretty cool. And once again, smashing out some good quality burns and engraves on this. So we'll add that to the others that we have done, and we'll just continue to do some testing. Okay, so with this one I've got some 3mm plywood in here, so I've put a double layer. So the bottom layer is just to protect the bed, I'm gonna cut a square. Currently I have it at 200 speed and 100% power. I'm probably going to do some material tests, but just for quick purposes for this video, I'm going to do it at that speed, and then if that cuts well, we'll keep going up and up with the speed and see where we stop for cutting. So let's take that now. Okay, so looking at that could well have already gone straight through at that speed. Let's have a look. Yeah, as you can see, it started making its way through to the bottom one, so it's just as well I put that extra bit of wood in there. Quite a bit of scorching, but once again, that's why you have honeycomb. I believe they sell a honeycomb type bed or a ribbed bed, so you get better airflow and cut, and then you don't get this scorching. Let's just try that again at a slightly different speed and see where we are. Okay, let's do that. So that was at 300 speed and 100% power. Let's take a look, see whether that's gone through. So it doesn't look like it has. No. So pretty much suggests to me that 200 is the sweet spot. So if we just mark that off, that was 300 speed and 100% power, and this one was 200 and 100% power. I'm gonna try it at 250 just to see, because obviously the speed does count for projects and stuff, especially if you're under time constraints. So let's just do that and then see where we are. Okay, so that was at 250 speed, 100% power. Let's just see if that made any difference. And once again, we don't have a full cut. Has gone through on some parts of it. The nature of this type of birch plywood is that there are layers in there, so some layers aren't quite as thick, but once again, 200 speed pretty much spot on, 300 speed definitely not, 250 didn't quite get through. These were all 100% power, so this is probably going to be your best bet for cutting. Once again, this is a 3mm, so it's quite thick, especially for something like this portable laser. You're probably better off with 1mm or 2mm. But yeah, it does the job, it cuts. That's kind of what we're looking at for such a small piece of kit like this. It does cut. Anything over 2 or 3mm, I think it's going to be struggling. You'll be going at 100% speed, 100 speed and 100% power, and at that point it's taking too long for projects. And I think if you're going to craft shows, to do anything worthy of cutting out, it's going to take way too long. So I would dedicate this to engraving more. So it's not to say that it doesn't do cut. It doesn't cut, it cuts. It's just going to take too long to do that, I think. So I think we're going to wrap it up now. So that was a Genmitsu kiosk 10-watt laser. There is a 5-watt. Pretty much everything that you get in the kit is exactly the same apart from the laser. So if I was going to be purchasing this myself, I would definitely purchase the 10-watt, because obviously the engraving is going to be so much better. I will give a quick recap at the end of the video, and that was basically just different materials that we've used. So I'll give a recap what my thoughts are, and yeah, so keep watching. Okay, so that's the end of this video. You would have seen the initial thoughts on this, the quick videos on this, and also what the contents are and the specifications. My final thoughts on this laser, I'm going to show some of the projects. So we did a laser engraving of the name onto this wood keyring, and it really put a nice in-depth engraving on that, and that took about 2 minutes, so nice and quick. Once again, leather, nice. Forget that it's not quite centered. That's just me not leveling it out properly and making sure that it was in the right position.
As you can see, nice engrave on there, looks perfect. Couple of minutes on that. Another type of wood, slightly lighter, nice engraving on that as well. Done a nice wood coaster with a tiger, and that engraved in about 7 minutes, 8 minutes, I think. Nice print on there as well. Could have potentially gone slightly bigger on that, but as you can see, looks really decent. Also did some slate. Needed to make myself a sign for the studio, so I'm going to fit that outside the studio. Once again, could have gone a little bit bigger, but the working area for me is kind of about that. And you could also go back and revisit and add extra things, being it easy to use. So that took about 10 minutes on that one as well. Just a quick sign, Genmitsu kiosk 10-watt laser. Nice engraving on that, a little bit scorching because it doesn't have air assist on this particular model. I believe you can have that attachment. And also I've got a flat bed. It doesn't have the underbed, which is a lot easier to use. So I just wanted to give a quick look over the machine itself. So like I said, it's in the raised position right now. So you've got a gap there. So this safety feature that you can hear it clicking won't really do the job it's intended. You could put your hand under there, but that's just for bigger projects, and the likelihood of using this for bigger projects is quite slim. These 4 screws here are where you can raise it and lower it, so the lowest point being down here, so this would be here. The arrows make it easier to read. You've got the extraction with this slot here. Doesn't come with that. I'm sure there's something out there that you can use. You've got the USB-C, the power connection, and USB, the SD card, and then the Ethernet or computer connection. Just at the front, like I said, the bed that comes with it is flat. Doesn't really help with cutting because you want the airflow. They do a ribbed version of the bed, so definitely look at getting that. Just looking underneath, inside, you've got the laser itself connected, the tool to raise and lower the laser itself, and then the focus drop down. Inside, the extraction fan, and then inside you have the workings, the motherboard, the belts, and the rods. Had a few issues to begin with where it was slipping and jumping. Be interested if anyone's got this, if anyone knows how to tighten up these belts, because I do feel like there's a bit of slack on that. You will also see there is a connection point. This is for a camera that you can also purchase on the website, and a nice bright light in there. Now, I love the fact that this has a light, especially if you want to look inside what's going on. So overall, really impressed by this laser for the price point as well. Just under £200, I believe, at the moment. And during this video, the Black Friday sales has brought it down even more. I wouldn't personally go for the 5-watt version. I think it really limits you to what you can do. But the 10 watt is definitely something you should go for. Paper, wood, bamboo, cloth, acrylic, plastic, leather. It says bread, fruit and glass and ceramics. So there's a lot of different things you can do that. But obviously with certain acrylics that are clear and see-through, it's not going to work. Glass, you're going to need to do some work to actually allow you to do that. But as you can see, some of the projects that I did in this video. So that's it for this video, and that was the Genmitsu kiosk 10-watt laser review. Don't forget to like and subscribe, leave some comments in the comment section and give me a thumbs up. And once again, thanks to Genmitsu for sending me this full review, and thanks to PCBWay for sponsoring this video. Take care everyone. Phil from 3DP UK Tech Channel.